Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Bucket Think Tank. And today we're going to talk about Batman issue number 47, The Gift, Part 3, the finale. So, we've been a bit unkind to Booster Gold here. It's done possibly one of the worst things ever in comics, one of the dumbest ideas ever. I don't think we could top Barry Allen in Flashpoint, which was a stupid idea. Let's mess with time travel. But at least Barry was doing it to fix his own life. And, one wouldn't think it was a bad idea. But Booster seemed to think that it's a great idea to go save Bruce's parents so he could live his life with his parents, so that way he could realize that his life is better without his parents. And he got this from hearing about Superman, who was trapped in an illusionary world where he got the perfect life. Anyway, if you recall, in issue 46, we saw where we left off, which was Batman, Catwoman, Thomas Wayne, Martha Wayne, and Alfred all killed in the main foyer, the upstairs foyer of Wayne Manor, as Bruce just stands around their dead bodies screaming. And this takes place a year later. Wayne Tech has finally repaired Skeets, but Skeets only responds to Booster's voice for the most part. So anything they want to do, they need Booster Gold for. Luckily, in Bruce's more sane moments, I guess, sane's really a strong word for it, when he's not shooting cutouts of Batman and Catwoman, he has Booster locked in what would normally be the Batcave, but we're just going to call it the Wayne family catacombs, or the Wayne Cave. And Booster's been chained up there. He's been there for a year. His hair's all scruffy and whatnot. He's got a beard. And he's just sort of talking to himself. So one would think he's a bit insane. But it all doesn't really mean anything. As Alfred's cleaning him up, he tells about his origin story, about how his dad was a jerk and made him throw football games, and that cost him a lot of stuff. So he eventually stole a time machine, blah, blah, blah. It's all would have been interesting had Booster not been grating my nerves this whole time. So he meets up with Bruce in the same place where the Wayne family massacre happened. I wonder if anyone else knows about that. But anyway, Bruce, who's been working on his shooting and, totally prepared to kill whatever, he says, okay, here's what you're going to do, Booster. You're going to take this, and you're going to go back in time to the day where Batman and Catwoman came in and killed my parents. I'm going to kill them, and that'll be it. And if you don't do it, I'm going to blow up Skeets, and I'm going to kill you. And Booster sort of interacts with Skeets again, and Skeets like, what did you do? What did you do? And that's cute and all, but Booster says, okay, so time travel doesn't work with dates because of international date lines, and it's too inconsistent. Probably even going with the exact date and year doesn't quite work, I guess, depending on the range of time travel. This is one of the inconsistencies, because most times in time travel, the dates are important. But it seems here that what Skeets needs is an actual event to latch onto, which I think also makes sense. It's a bit vague, but I actually think it's a bit easier to do as opposed to an exact date and time like in Back to the Future or Doctor Who, because it still achieves the same results. So Booster says, okay, what you want is to say, like, let's say you want to go back to right before Thomas and Martha Wayne were killed. And Booster sort of winks at Skeets, and Bruce is like, what did you do? Why did you wink at him? And they're taken back in time, and they're taken back to not a year before, but the year young Bruce Wayne's parents were shot, leaving the movie theater. And Bruce is like, what have you done? What have you done? And he's getting ready to shoot Booster, but then, guess who shows up? Booster Gold, the one who saves Bruce's parents. And they effectively hold off this Bruce until the inevitable happens. Bruce and his parents go down the alleyway, they're killed, and it's, history is put back in motion. But our Bruce, this old Bruce Wayne, has to watch it happen. He watches it happen. And this sort of reminds me a bit of how messed up this whole thing has been. Because if you think about it, the Bruce Wayne from this changed timeline, he remembers to some extent that he is Batman, that his parents did die. And then he saw his parents die in the Wayne Manor, and now we're seeing him die for the third time. Booster's attempts to sort of let him know his life is better is effectively ruined by the fact that he's been dragging this Bruce Wayne all the way through technically a personal hell as he watches his family just die one way or another. And Brewster tries to calm this Bruce down, but damage is already done. This Bruce Wayne shoots himself in the head, reminiscent of how Hal Jordan did in the beginning of the story. So we cut to the present day, and Brewster is telling Batman and Catwoman what happened for whatever reason. And Brewster makes up the fact that, he can't unsee it. He can't unsee the blood. Even he takes off his glasses and says, I see the stain, right there. He points to where the stain is, where he sees the blood, and he says, is that how you always see it, right? Right, Batman? It's sort of the idea that the trauma is so real that no matter how far ahead Bruce goes, he'll always still see his parents being shot, and this is happening to Booster Gold. So that's how this comic ends, and honestly, I'm trying to figure out what was the point of this story other than to put Booster Gold in this story. It feels like we're just sort of padding till we get to the actual wedding day, which is happening presumably next month. And that's kind of it. It's sort of like the dumbest thing about this. Like all these interesting ideas, like what happens to a Gotham City where the Wayne family is alive and relatively well? What is the idea with President Penguin? The Joker is Talia. In a world where there's no Bruce Wayne, Talia is effectively the one carrying on the mantle of Ra's al Ghul. What led to the creation of Dick Grayson as Batman? All these way more interesting things. And what was the point of Bruce remembering anything? Wouldn't it have just been easier if he did and said, dude, just get out? And Booster has to try to remember, and then something happens, and Skeets gets messed up in the battle with Batman, Dick Grayson. It all hits the right beats, I guess. But I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something about the story. If you've read it, feel free to leave it down in the comment section. You can follow along. Love to hear your thoughts on it. If you think Booster Gold's a really terrible, terrible, stupid idiot for this, hit that thumbs up button. And I will catch you all later. This is the Bucket Think Tank signing out. May your fandom serve you well.